Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back! You're watching the Thrift Store, Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. Today we're talking about why self-deprecation can be an effective, yet unorthodox manner of self-care. Self-care being the pits, if we choose it to be the pits, or if we apply a glossy seed of deodorant and let it work for us. It's either us doing the self-deprecation, laughing at ourselves, or somebody else doing it, and if they do it, they want to rub it in our faces to the point where it stinks and we start to cry. That's the whole point of the Onion magazine. That and its Weekender magazine. I don't know if they're two separate magazines or if they're one and the same, but what I do know is that for $1.99 from American Thrift Store in Patterson, we have here a hardcover collection of the iconic covers that transformed an undeserving world. With a foreword by Johann Gutenberg. And if you don't know who he is, he was a German inventor who invented the printing press. Way to rise him up from the dead, the Onion. Anyway, two magazines or one. The Onion magazine and the Weekender. One of the same or separate, I don't know. But what I do know is that the attention to detail when it comes to the font, the photos, the graphics, and the writing of all the covers in here, top fucking notch. We begin with America's homeless. Still the best in the world. How they stay on top? By living on the bottom. Next up, 100 celebrities written down and numbered, just in case anyone's too lazy to actually procure a Rolodex with such addresses and phone numbers. That's in fear of any one of their lawyers coming in and doing away with us. I'd risk it for Angelina Jolie. And in this particular section, no one else. Next up, crack nearly killed Bill Nye, but the guy who suffered a crack addiction is back on top, ready to reconquer Hollywood and hopefully one day crack the code of the core of the earth. Bill Nye, your science guy. Not really mine, although I do like him. Beekman was more my science guy. That's well documented on here. Is the American media running out of fluff pieces? Hey, look at today's culture. Absolutely not. But how dare anyone run out of an interview with Amanda Peet? I was suicidal. And hey, where are you going? We're talking about a blockbuster tabloid issue, even though this shouldn't really be tabloid if it was real. I hope it wasn't. This is satire, after all, and The Onion, as you know, is famous for satirical news. But anyway, somebody ran out of an interview with Amanda Peet. If I was one of the senior editors at The Onion, or maybe a direct, descendant of the Zwiebel family. If you don't know J. Harrison Zwiebel, he was a tuber farmer that founded The Onion and its gigantic, centuries-long empire. I would fine them big time, maybe even suspend them for running away out of a blockbuster interview with such a gifted, talented, and, quite sensitive hottie. Next up, a sit-down with the smug little shit behind the latest internet phenomenon. Yesterday it was Mark Zuckerberg. Today it's, say it with me class, Elon Musk. Good, you're paying attention. One man's brave battle against stuffing his fat face with fruit pies. Self-deprecation done for us, leading to self-care. It's either us or them. I don't stuff my face with fruit pies. I stuff my face with chocolate cream pies or chocolate mousse cake. And on that note, shout out to the Daily Treat restaurant in Ridgewood. Their chocolate mousse cake is the stuff of legends. Things do get a little bit risque with children's masturbation fantasies getting too sexy. But then again, that's all The Onion, not me. You can flag them. Please don't flag me. I'm just a messenger here.
Coming up, children are getting sexier, and that's pretty cool.
Are we forgetting to do something important right now? Well, not me. as of late, I rarely forget to do something important. And what's important is for me to remind you about the genius of Onion satire, even if it is going alongside Seth MacFarlane-esque party lines. The theme song from DuckTales, and why it's now stuck in your head. For me, their theme is not so much stuck in my head, although it is admittedly an earworm, as is, during this era, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and Tailspin. Next up, who dumped who? Or is it whom? 10 common grammar mistakes. Forget the grammar mistakes! I don't know who in their right mind would dump Jennifer Aniston! Being an ex of Jennifer Aniston, would you wear that as a badge of pride, knowing that you gave it a valiant effort? Or would you carry that with shame, knowing that the effort failed? And along the same lines, Johnny McDade of the band Snow Patrol deserves a call-out for dumping his then fiancée and the great love of my life, Courtney Cox, while she was in therapy for the first 60 seconds! Miraculously, and somewhat tragically on my part, they reconciled and they're still together. The next time they blow it, though, I'll be ready. But for right now, Jennifer Aniston is ripe for the plucking. Next up, Jackie Harvey of Jackie Harvey's Hollywood, for the serious Onion fanatics out there, takes you underneath the Academy Awards. Oh yes, behind the scenes isn't good enough, so they take us underneath the Oscars. Can you imagine the basement of the Dolby Theater? Maybe that's like an extra hidden control room. Or maybe an extra catering room. Imagine all that free Wolfgang Puck food. But given this cover photo, I think it's just like any other basement. But hey, sometimes cover photos do lie. This is satire after all. Getting that perfect souffle in a world of uncertainty and pain. Yep, in a world of extreme uncertainty, at least there's one certain measure of extreme deliciousness we can all look forward to. That is if we got the guts. A souffle isn't that hard to make. And just for fun, the Onion magazine in the form of a comic book cover, Double Cross on the Docks, issue number 145, 10 cents. If only this entire book was 10 cents. But anyway, how realistic the covers look and how funny they are, or risque they are in some places aside, they do the self-deprecation for us. They poke fun at our peculiar lifestyles, and in this case, weekend reading habits. So much so to the point where they think we're too stupid to change our peculiar lifestyles and weekend or even weekday reading habits, so they bolster in our faces, making us feel inferior. Hey, at least you can feel somewhat superior knowing that you have some peculiar habits that you might partake in on the weekends that you do better than anyone else does who has more common sense than you do. Covers that matter for people who don't. $26 in the US, $29 in Canada, retail prices for both regions. And it seems that Louis C.K., The New Yorker, Conan O'Brien, Neil Gaiman, New York Times publisher Arthur Sulzberger Jr., and even Sammy Sosa all agree that America's finest news source is most certainly the funniest news source. I hope one day they come out with a book celebrating the Onion News Network, their Peabody Award-winning video library. Two standout and most prominent features of that library are Today Now, their take on morning news programs, and In the Know with Clifford Baines, who, as many hardcore folks who were in the know about In the Know knew hands down, was never really in the know to begin with. Anyway, that's their take on Sunday morning political talk shows, and their panelists, aka actors, were nothing but political on everything that was anything but political. That'll be the day if we come across a book like that. But for now, this, more than suffices, this weekender is certainly a weekend convo starter, which earns the maximum of 5 claps. The truth, a lot like love, it's like an onion. The more you peel the layers, the more it sticks. I know I'm not the first person to say that. You can credit Ed from Ed and Eddie for that one. But here's the truth. This book reeks of boastful brilliance. And I don't think I'll be solving its Stench off of me anytime soon. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.